I never learned how to live, never how to learn how to work clean and sober before. All right, these people in Oxford House have taught me how to do that. Have given me a chance when I make a mistake. They'll help me out. When I need help, they'll help me out. When I'm hurting, they'll help me out. I don't have to go out and do this stuff on my own. There's usually somebody in the house at all times that you can talk to who have been through this before, who've been around longer. We have house meetings once a week where a lot of this stuff gets kicked up and dealing with our attitudes, with dealing with certain house issues, and we learn how to deal with this. So then sometimes it's a painful experience, but it works.
Most people that end up in an Oxford House have hit some type of bottom in life, whether it be a physical, a spiritual, or an emotional bottom. They've hit some type of a bottom. All of us that live in Oxford houses or that do well are people that have accepted the fact that we have a disease. We suffer from a disease, the disease of alcoholism and addiction. What Oxford houses do, after a person has accepted that and they come in, they're looking for a better way of living. The Oxford House concept is added support. Coming out of a treatment facility, a lot of people may end up in a halfway house for a period of time, and maybe they get a job, because in an Oxford House, one thing that we have all lost is that self-sufficiency, and Oxford House helps us to regain that. I'm talking about working a job, being able to pay bills, because the Oxford houses are autonomous. Each one runs independently. The members run the house. We pay the bills. Each person has the rent to pay. And with the money that we collect, we pay all of the utilities. And it gives us that added time to prepare ourselves for, like Paul was saying earlier, that some people feel comfortable. They can come in there 3 or 4 months, 5 months, and they may move out on their own. Other people have been around for a year, 2 years, and there's no time limit. Each individual, that's something that they find as they grow.
And Oxford allows you, without having so many different rules or restrictions, to kind of like take life on a bit at a time, And then once, of course, you get to the point where you feel a lot more confident or able to deal with society as a whole on your own, because the loneliness plays a big factor too. And that's why the community setting or the family type living is so conducive.
Coming into the Oxford House, it allowed me to take a look at the fact that there are people who are out here who are living in a structure where they can pay bills. That's the one thing that I always did not want to do, is pay bills, be responsible. And they've taught me that it can be done. Not only that, but it was like, this thing kind of works hand in hand. I'm the type of person that has to see somebody else actually doing it in order for me to feel like I can do it.
Nobody can understand the feelings that you have as well as another alcoholic, and relate to you in a way that you can understand and can learn from someone who's gone through it. All the well-schooled doctors in the world still haven't been able to come up with a treatment that is better than one alcoholic helping another alcoholic.
I don't think that I could have stayed sober if it wasn't for the Oxford House. There's not a doubt in my mind, because I was like you too. It was suggested to me to go in, the first time, and I moved back home, and went right back out after a 4-month program, and it was a long-term program, and I came right back out and used again. And when they told me to, move in again, I really didn't have a choice. I did it for someone else because I was afraid of losing them. And I moved in, and I never thought that, 6 other women, how can you do it, there was no way that I thought I could do that. And, 2.5 years later, I'm still there, Something's right, because it's the way the houses are run. We have to do a lot of changing, and it's not easy. And, when you live with somebody that gets to know what you're about, I could come in the house and not say anything, and those girls know me. They know what's going on. And in the beginning, that was real important for me, because it was hard to reach out. It was hard to share. I didn't get right involved with the step, the 12-step program. I had a lot of fear. I wanted to run again, and these people really helped me a lot. And I know that I wouldn't have been, I would not be sober today if it wasn't for the house.
See, I think one thing that we all have in common, I think we'll all agree on, is that as practicing addicts and alcoholics, we're very selfish people. We came first, whatever we wanted to do, rules didn't apply to us, we were going to do things our way. And I think most people here will agree, our way did not work. And no, it didn't work for me. But, this way of recovery and sobriety is a better way. And living in an environment like with Oxford House, because we do have simple rules, and we don't have very many rules because one thing addicts and alcoholics like to do is make rules and then break them.
House, in order for a house to work, in order for us to work together, I have to. It's like part of my responsibility for my well-being to get to know this guy, because I'm going to be living with him, and I'm going to depend on him to pay his share of the rent so that I don't have to get put out. You see, if we don't pay rent, we get put out.
But we depend on each other.
So we depend on each other.
And the thing is, because it's run democratically, everybody has an opinion. And today, I can accept somebody else's opinion, even though I may not agree with it, or even though I may not think that this person is wrong, or is right, or whatever. Because it used to be that, my opinion was the only right opinion, and if you didn't agree with me, it has. Believe it or not, folks, it's changed. Honestly, it has.
So you learn.